Homeless crisis in America, electric vehicle crisis in America, and the housing market meltdown. Today, I read an article on yahoo.com put out by the Associated Press and written by Tran Nguyen titled Newsom Issues Executive Order for Removal of Homeless Encampments in California. According to the author, California Governor Gavin Newsom issued an executive order for the removal of homeless encampments in his state. I'm going to stop here for a moment. It's not his state. He doesn't own it. He is serving the state of California. Poor choice of words, in my opinion. Anyway, getting back to the article, the executive order will direct state agencies on how to remove thousands of tents and makeshift shelters across the state that line freeways, clutter shopping center parking lots, and fill city parks. Apparently, he pushed and campaigned for a ballot measure earlier this year to allow the state to borrow nearly $6.4 billion to build 4,350 housing units. Here are my thoughts. Where are these people going to go? I'm sure all those 4,350 housing units haven't been built yet. You can remove all these tents and makeshift shelters and dispose of them in a landfill, but the people remain. Some of these people are at the end of their rope already, and now you just disposed of their shelter. Isn't this like poking a bear with a stick or taking a bowl of food away from a hungry dog that is eating it? I'm just not sure disposing of all of these tents and makeshift shelters solves the problem unless infrastructure is in place for these people to go. In addition to that, I think you need a plan to communicate where the people are to go and possibly provide transportation. Otherwise, the tents and makeshift shelters may just pop back up. I'll share an analogy with you. I purchased a rental home years ago. It was built in the early 1900s, and it had amazing architectural detail all along the underside of the roof. The birds love to build nests there. I waited until the baby birds left the nests, and then I removed all of them. Wouldn't you know, they just built new nests there in short order. Maybe Governor Gavin Newsom hasn't ever owned a turn-of-the-century rental property with birds' nests. If he had, he might understand what may happen in the near future in California. I have to tell you that I love reading the comments beneath some of these articles. Some people really share interesting information. I'll share some of these comments with you. One commenter said, the state of California borrowed $6.4 billion to build 4,350 housing units at a cost of $1.4 million for each unit. Someone's pockets are being lined. Here are my thoughts. Perhaps, but I'm sure land, permits, materials, and contractors aren't cheap in California. You don't get much for $1.4 million in that state. Still, it does seem like a lot per unit on the surface. The next commenter said, give the people of California an accounting of the expenditures. Well, my friends, that would be very interesting to see. Another commenter said, there should be programs to help the homeless help themselves. If they don't want to help themselves by finding a job and being part of society, that is all we can do. We can't support millions of homeless with free housing, medical, and food. There are exceptions of physical and mental incapacity, but drug addiction would not be an exception under my watch. Definitely not supplying drugs to addicts. I'm afraid there will always be homeless people, just like there will always be homeless animals. Every shelter in my area is full. Many are euthanizing animals because there are too many. Whether we are talking about homeless humans or homeless animals, it is a sad state of affairs. It is really a cruel world that we live in. Watch some nature documentaries about life in the wild. You'll see innocent grazing animals being torn to shreds by predators while they are still alive. It's tragic to watch, but that is part of life here on planet Earth. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Today, I read another interesting article. This one was on yahoo.com, put out by Business Insider, and written by Jennifer Soar, titled, Florida's housing market is seeing nightmare scenarios as buyers back out due to affordability concerns, Redfin says. According to the author, Florida's housing market is facing a wave of nightmare scenarios, with a growing number of home deals falling through as buyers get cold feet. In key metros like Orlando and Tampa, around 21% of home purchase agreements were canceled in June, according to Redfin. The national average was 15% last month. Well, my friends, this is interesting information. I would have never guessed the percentages were this high. This really provides us with some great insight into what is happening in the housing market. Some real estate agents like to paint a rosy picture about the real estate market. They love to be cheerleaders for how great real estate is doing. Even if real estate is in the gutter, they will often try to share a positive narrative. I'm curious if you know of some real estate deals that have fallen apart recently. If you do, tell me about them in the comment section below. You know things are not normal when Ford is losing $50,000 on every electric car. I read this story on Yahoo Finance, put out by The Telegraph, and written by Matt Oliver. According to the author, the company posted a loss of $1.1 billion for its electric vehicle division, which is equivalent to about $47,600 per car. It sold 23,957 electric vehicles, which was an increase of 61% from a year earlier. I'm going to stop here for a moment and just say 23,957 vehicles is nothing. If any of you are old like me, you probably remember how popular Chrysler minivans were back in the 1980s. In 1985, Chrysler sold 242,827 minivans. In 1988, they sold 422,418 minivans. That's over 17 times as many electric vehicles that Ford sold. Do you see the problem here? It's demand. Chrysler came out with a product that people wanted. The minivans back then were fuel efficient and they were great little people movers. Families all wanted one. They were the hottest thing in town during that era. I'm afraid the same can't be said for these electric vehicles being sold by Ford. Ford needs to get in tune with what Americans need and want and what they can afford. Otherwise, I'm really afraid for that company. I read some of the comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. One commenter said, "The EV market is toast." Another commenter said, "Sheer incompetence." The next commenter said, "Electric junk. Nobody wants them except for the media." The last comment that I'll share with you came from someone who said, "I love how our government mandates us to drive cleaner cars to save the world. Meanwhile, China and Russia and other countries triple up on pollution to make up for it. I think politicians forget we all live on the same planet." I'm curious, what do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Please keep in mind that everything in this video is for entertainment purposes only, and nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.